When you do, take advantage of this great offer. Call in now because they're doing 5 years of 0% APR plus 50% off the cost of installation. This is an offer you do not want to miss. Call West Shore Home now.
Happy holidays from Wilderness at the Smokies.
I saw something recently on the news. There's been some talk in Bedford, Massachusetts, I think it is, about a Christmas tree not being displayed at a public library there. And people began to come forward saying, you know, that's been tradition for a long time. Let's please bring it back. And a string of interviews I saw the other day included people from different faiths, not necessarily Christian, who said that the season for them represents a time of peace and that they too wanted to have that Christmas tree back. So in that spirit of things, the idea of peace this time of year, I want to introduce our next guest. His name is George Azar. He's an author and he's written a book called Conformity, the Modern Bully. Volume 2 is about to come out next spring. Pre-orders are going on. So good morning to you, George.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You and I are both trying to be very careful in how we have this conversation, so I hope that was an okay lead-in for you. But you had your own very specific walk in the church. As a result, you have left, but the book that you've written is designed to let people know that all of us could and should be accepted for who we are. Is that right?
Yeah, so the book's name is actually My Gay Church Days. The title that you quoted was actually the speech that I've been giving in regards to coming to this place of realizing that, you know, we're all human, we all have these experiences, and it kind of gleans off of my own experience being a younger kid and being recklessly bullied in middle school and high school, and turning to, you know, a system in order for me to find some sort of belonging and acceptance, not realizing that my identity had become wrapped up in that system, and you know, in my experience, it was evangelical Christianity. And so the book is really about telling my story about coming to acceptance of myself and defying the norms of my community for the sake of being true to myself.
So the fact that you've written the first volume and now the second volume will launch in the spring, is it because you just have more content to add, or have you made some edits that you're going to relaunch? What's the two?
Yeah, so I got a really good response from the first version. It's so funny because I did not even plan to have a media tour or anything like that, but as the book started to gain traction and people started to relate to my story, you know, I'm gay, but I had people who are straight who also related to my story, who experienced similar types of bullying growing up. And so for me, I realized that there was this silver lining that connected all of us as human beings, this idea that we can be vulnerable and we could be honest and real with each other, and we can bring those things out of the closet, so to speak, and come together in unity and realize that we're not all that different, that we really do have, you know, if we look at the majority of us, you know, we all want the best things for our lives and for others, and so being able to accept and see a different perspective and see a different worldview, I think is the key in order to come into that place of belonging and acceptance of not only self but of others.
Yeah, and I guess you can't gain that additional worldview if you don't allow yourself to see other walks within the world. So people might not be able to leave where they live to go experience another culture or whatever it may be, but to read your book puts them in touch. Is it just with your experiences, George, or do you end up interviewing other people who've had similar experiences?
Yeah, I have a wide range of different experiences, and that's kind of what birthed the second version, where it was like really stepping into my story. So I have this amazing editor who told me, you know, you wrote more of an autobiography than a memoir. She said, you told them what happened, now it's time to show them. And I think that's the thing, it's being able to reach out to a larger group of people to be able to resonate and identify with my story by looking at it as it's not just about me coming out as gay. It's about me coming to acceptance of self and detaching from dogmatic worldviews that kept me in isolation and kept me away from having authentic relationships with the people I love in my life, who actually see, me for me as opposed to who they wanted me to be.
Okay, and before I let you run, besides showing people how they can get the book if they want to go ahead and pre-order it, it won't come out, volume 2, until April or May of this year. What was your primary source then that got you through?
Yeah, so I've actually been using my website. It's mygaychurchdays.com, and so the book is currently being edited, and it should be released in April or May. So pre-orders are on my website.
And great. And then my question to you had been, when you were going through the journey, that's okay, when you were going through the journey, what was it that kept you going when life was difficult? Are you still strong in your faith, or did you turn to friends, or what got you through?
Great question. It really was it was difficult. I'm not going to lie about that. It wasn't roses and sunshine and all of that. I went through some pretty dark places. I slipped into depression. I became addicted to opioids. I, was turning to different people and different experiences to give me some sort of validation. But the more that I started to persist in realizing that my fear was less potent than the desire to be myself, and really trying to find that authenticity through friendships, through building a new community, that's what really got me through, was identifying the things that were troubling me the most, and detaching from those and clinging to more healthy versions that allowed me to be me.
Well, George, thank you so much for your time, and we'll show people how they can go ahead and get those pre-orders, because it's no longer on Amazon as Volume 1 had been. Volume 2 will come out on his website only, which you see there on your screen. And forgive me for calling his speech the name of the book. That had been the speech that he once gave. George Azar, thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Local 3 is invested in helping local businesses succeed, and we're looking for an experienced leader in developing digital campaigns. Coach, train, and work with our team to help clients reach customers as a digital marketing manager. Email gacuff@local3news.com to apply.
For patients rehabilitating from a stroke, injury, or illness at Encompass Health, regaining the highest quality of life is their primary goal, and ours, because there's nothing like the joy of coming home. Wishing everyone the happiest of holidays.
Before there was a win, a medal, or a victory, there was a boy just like me on a soccer